Greetings ladies and gentlefish. In this video I'm going to bring you a pair of games featuring the American Tier 9 medium tank, the M46 Patton. Now, the first of these games is going to be more of a novelty game, the second is a slightly more serious game, but let's get on with the first one. This is a Tier 10 game. You can see I've got my Mark of Excellence on the gun barrel, my first Mark of Excellence. This is a Tier 10 game. We are on Prokhorovka, and it's an encounter game, so no prizes for guessing what I'm doing. It's an encounter game on Prokhorovka in a medium tank. Good lord. I wonder what we're going to see here. Yeah, absolutely no prizes for guessing. For those of you who have no idea what I'm waffling on about, people who've been watching my channel for a little while will know that there's a spot on this map that I tend to go to, especially in a tank that has a little bit of mobility. Basically anything with a turret that isn't a TOG or something that slow, and preferably with a bit of view range. It works even better on the encounter game mode, but it still works on the regular game mode. Now this game, as I say, it's a bit of a novelty. It's not about my performance, it's not about the performance of any particular team, any particular player. It's about, firstly, the performance of the team, and secondly, the scoreline. So pay attention to that at the end. Firstly, there's a Waffenträger auf E100 who's already been spotted. Now I believe I'm actually the one doing the spotting here, which is quite nice, just to give you an idea of what the view range of this tank is when you give it coated optics. It's fantastic. Hello, Mr. T-34. And my shell doesn't even arrive in time to do anything about it. Now, as it turns out, I've actually got myself a respectable amount of spotting damage from that T-34, and I believe from the Tier 10 waffle maker. Sorry for any Germans out there, it's just the name it ends up getting given. The Waffenträger auf E100. The fictional paper tank with the anti-aircraft gun, or whatever you want to call it, I don't care. So, that being said, Object 268 is poking his nose up around here, and we are trying to move forwards to try and do something about him. T-57 takes out the waffle maker. So there's still a 268 up here. The scoreline's currently 3-0. Still a 268 up here. He's been joined by a pair of Tiger 2s and an IS-3, so a Tier 10 tank destroyer and a bunch of Tier 8s, which is nice. Bounced that shot on the IS-3, alas. I could have aimed it better, but I didn't really want to take a 268 to the face. There's an E5 over to the right hand side, and our T-57 is reloading. He does very well in this game and gets a very nice amount of damage indeed. So there we go, Tiger 2, 1 HP, my first damage. Kill stealing like a boss, and the score is 6-0. So this is looking like it's going to be a bit of a rout. Trying to get a shot on the weak spot of that 268, but my shell just dives into the ground. Alas, I take a shot in the side. It looks like a small caliber shot, probably from the 1375. Spin around to try and do something about that little guy. Don't mean to block that T-54 though, T-54E1 though, so I back off to give him a bit of space. Shot on the AMX. Bounces. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. 105mm gun bounced on an AMX 1375 light tank. Anyway, who cares? I decide to blow some of his cover away to enable the rest of our team to wreck him horrifically, and the score is currently 9-0. Lerva, Conqueror, Object 268 is still up there somewhere. There's also an E75. Bounce on the Lerva because Lerva armor OP. Probably hit his turret front or something, to be fair. Picking out the turret roof of the IS-3 and picking up a kill. So far I've done 2 damaging shots and both of them have killed their targets. Conqueror is down, 268 is still up, aiming for that weak spot on the top of his tank. If he would just sit still and put the shot in. That's the first shot I've done that did damage and didn't kill a target. Good lord. Can I pick up the kill steal on the 268? You bet I can. And that leaves, I was about to say Tier 9 Waffle and the E75, but now it's just the E75. Oh my word, he is in a whole world of trouble. The score is 14-0. Can we make this a whitewash? Well, I have all the health, so I'm just going to go for it. Balls deep. I can take the damage. One shot in. He's on 22 health. I really should have rammed him in hindsight. But the T-57 Heavy polishes him off. And as I say, that was a novelty game. It's there for the 15-0 scoreline. So well done to the T-57 Heavy. He racked up a very nice amount of damage. I believe the one with 4 kills. I ended up coming, it was a very communist game. No one did exceptionally well. Everyone did a bit. I ended up actually getting a respectable score from that game, all things considered. I got something like 2k spotting damage, which helped. I assume early on the T-34 and the Waffle. So, have a look at the post-battle results, and then we'll move on to a slightly more serious game. Here is game number 2. Now, this game is not about some exceptional scoreline or anything like that. This is more about holding your nerve in the face of adversity, even when you're convinced it's all going to go horribly wrong. So, we are on Westfield, which is a bad map for medium tanks because you spawn down in the valley, which is not necessarily where you want to be. And this is a tier 10 game, and when I say tier 10, this is a very tier 10 game. 10 tier 10s on the enemy team, 1 tier 9, 2 tier 8s and 2 tier 7s. Well, the M41 Bulldog can see this game, but the Crusader SP platooned up with an IS-3 and got a bit unlucky. Our team has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tier 10s rather than 10, 2 tier 9s, 3 tier 8s, and a tier 7. So I decide, screw this, I want to be up around the D2 region, working those ridge lines, using my 10 degrees of gun depression, pumping damage into the enemy team, and generally helping out my team. That's what I want to do. Now, the Patton has a pretty decent engine, pretty respectable power to weight ratio. It's a mobile machine, but this is a bloody great big hill. And as I say, I'm trying to get up into that position. Trying. Alright, I'm on my way, but oh god, oh no, their heavy tanks are already pushing through the town. Screw it. So I put a shot into the AMX-50B and then back the hell off. I take 2 shots in return from him, but he gets absolutely wrecked. Now, at this moment, what I'm thinking is going to happen is that their heavy tanks are going to push out of the town, flank our guys at D2, D3, especially as our Lerva just got wrecked, flank these fellows, and it's all going to be over. That's what I'm expecting to happen. I can't get up into the position I wanted to get up into, and so I've got it in the back of my head that this is all going to go horribly wrong, despite the fact that we've lost a tier 8 but claimed a tier 10 in exchange. But, regardless of what I think is going to happen, we'll just do our best and try and make this game work. So there's an E100, try for a shot into the side of his turret. Alas, the angling means I don't pen. You've only got something like 219 mil of penetration with this gun, 218, which is not bad, but you do notice the lack of penetration when you want to start trying to damage some of the, in particular, some of the higher tier German heavy tanks. Things like E75s, E100s, mice, or mouses, whichever it is, that sort of thing. We're successful that time and put a shot through the side of the turret of that E100. Object 268, put a shot into him as well. And so we're just trying to be damage support here, staying as hull down as we can. 268 dies, and suddenly this is looking rather more hopeful. Their flanking attempt through the town has actually been stalled because we have a tank destroyer at E1 who's able to give our heavy tanks covering fire. Some of the aforementioned heavy tanks have turned around and are pouring fire into the guys pushing through the town, and you have me at the crest of that hill putting fire in from another direction. So whichever way these guys who are coming out of the town on the enemy team, whichever way they face their turret or their tank, they are going to be presenting weaker armour to somebody. And that is not the best position in the world to be in. So actually, 5-2, it looks like we might be able to do this. We're not completely out of the woods yet, but I'm silently hopeful. So, I put another shot into the side of that E100's turret, and you can just see the health of these guys melting away as they come out of the town. I back off to try and not get shot, but the E100 puts the shot into the soil, and I am okay with that, managing to pick up the kill on the E100 in question, and the scoreline is currently 8-3. So it looks like my prediction of what was going to happen with this game was thankfully incorrect. There's only 6 of them remaining. And so it's time to go hunting. We've successfully managed to repulse their push through the town. Yeah, let's go and polish them off. That Object 140, I mean, I'm heading that way, but he's so screwed. He's going to get absolutely wrecked. It's him versus 3 pretty healthy tier 10 medium tanks. M48 Patton above them. This gun is not the most accurate gun in the world, doesn't have the best shell travel time, but we can still hurt our tier 10 bigger brother. There's one shot into him as they lose the T110E3, and our artillery polishes the Patton off. That just leaves 2 British artillery pieces and a Pershing. Versus all of this lot. Pershing's probably wondering what he did to deserve this. The Crusader SP might be wondering what he did to deserve this, but he knows what he did to deserve it. He platooned up with a tier 8. Anyway, there's the aforementioned Pershing. He was trying to give his guys covering fire or something. Fire a shot that alas misses. This gun is not renowned for its accuracy. And I think, oh, he's going to die. Screw him. Conqueror gun carriage. Ah, someone nudged me there, which was annoying. Put one shot into him. Conqueror misses. Switch attention to the SP, but no, they all die. And we end up getting something like 2700 damage out of that, or something like that, over 2000, and almost 3000 assistance damage, mainly from spotting, which was nice. So that actually ended up being a pretty nice result. Not a spectacular result, but a pretty nice result, considering the matchmaking. Well, this was probably the worst matchmaking a Patton's ever going to see. Pretty much. And I was convinced the game was going to go pretty south at one point, but our team held it together, held our nerve, and managed to pull a very convincing win out of the bag, which was good to see. Now, with hindsight, we had fire onto those guys emerging out of the town from various directions, but I was still nervous. If they had put more of their force on the hill region, then when our heavy tanks turned around to engage the guys coming through the town, they could have attacked from 2 directions at once. That could have been problematic. That's what I thought they were going to do, but it's not what the team ended up actually doing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that pair of games. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.